So for the Porsche 956 fans, I'm working on the details kit. As I've mentioned in a possible other video or on the socials, I'm working on wheel sets and details kits for the body and some other magic. Where are we? Right, the details are underway and the wheel sets are done. The boxes arrived yesterday, so I'm going to get the packaging done so they present nicely, they're safe for transport, and then I'll do an announcement this week on that. What have I done? I've made the correct wheels for the 1983 cars with capability of running the Tamiya F1 Rubber, so front and rears, and I've made the sponsor decals, which are vinyl cut so they don't have the plastic shine, valve stems, and even got center hubs which click in, and you've even got, on top of all that, the wheel covers which can go on front and back. So that's the rubber set all done over there. And then the sponge set gets fun. So the sponge wheels, the tyres for the Group C kits are sponge. Yeah. Front one is 24mm, but you can see the rim is wider than 24. The rim is 30, and the rear is 45, I think. So I've made new hubs for those. Again, the center hub nut can go on, the wheel cover can go on, and the wheel cover goes on. What I've done, because if you look at, there's three different sizes. There's the rear, front and front. Now the front there is a 30mm tyre, and that's actually the Tamiya F1 rear tyre in sponge, which looks quite nice, and it fills up the rim. See the difference? Yep. So what I've done, I've made the rim with, as you can see on there, with a line on it, a scored line, which can be cut off if you're going to run the narrow tyres, or you leave it on if you're going to run the 30mm tyres. So that will be in the set. So the set will have, you'll have a choice of rubber set, sponge set, all the hub nuts, the bolt on rear section, which is on this one, you can see that. So that's a rear hub, two-part section where the thrust bearing and all the washers go in, and that bolts on, and that will have brass inserts in it and two 3mm hex head screws will go in there. They're all over there. So there'll be two wheel sets. I'll be announcing those this week and start producing them very soon, so they're rolling out. The body kit, so like I did with the C11, I'm going to do a body kit, and then I'm going to do another kit after that, which will be the rear diffuser unit, possibly a new design for wing and wing supports. I'm working on that as well, because I don't like two-dimensional Lexan for three-dimensional parts. Similar that I did on the Project 959, I made a solid rear wing for that. What I've done, I'll show you the parts, but I've printed a picture of the parts because some of them are stupidly small. Light buckets, wipers, ducting, fuel filler caps, wiper, and various handles and bits and pieces, and oil filler cap, and then also two side lights, which are stickers, decals in the kit, which are actually for night use. They illuminate the side number of the car. Modern cars have backlighting on the LED. The old cars had an old-fashioned sort of number plate style cast alloy part, which just pushed light down onto the side number for the night racing. So basically I've got a pot of parts here. So that's an exhaust output, a bit like the C11 one, slightly different. On the 956 they're angled backwards, but then on some cars they're rotated a little bit, and on the 962s they're pretty much horizontal. Pretty much every car is different. I've done a ridiculous amount of research into all this stuff. I'll get my tweezers because some of these parts are silly small. A front tow eye. So on the kit that's a decal, so this can be inserted into the kit. That one, I have to put my other glasses on. That's the jack pressure valve, which is 1 mil by 5 mil. Pressure valve from the side. Then I've got a handle from the side which releases the jack. Oops, repair on it. Some other bits and pieces which go on the side details. Now this one is the side number plate illumination light, and what I've done, I've made it LED ready. I'm not going to focus, but that's a ridiculously small number plate light with a LED in it. So I've put a 0.8mm LED in that to illuminate it. Now that's a 12 volt LED, so that's not much use for us in the kit. So I need to source and know that there are 5 or 6 volt microscopic LEDs available, but they can fit into the light if you're that crazy like me. So those are some bits that are coming on. Oh, the wiper, I'll show you actually. So the body, I've sort of started tacking in the bits with some, I use this stuff just to hold stuff together while I'm sampling it. Fuel filler caps, both sides. Naka ducting, is that the correct pronunciation? So basically Tamiya, in their wisdom, the body for this kit isn't particularly deeply drawn compared to some reproductions, and they completely omitted these top ducts, so they're just scored lines. So I thought if someone wants to cut that scored line and put a duct underneath it, it's there. Side exhausts will go in there, so they'll come with templates to cut the holes, although it's scored already. No, this one isn't. Yeah, it is actually scored. And then some self-adhesive double-sided tape, which will be laser cut to stick the parts on. This is also an important decal on the side for the Le Mans cars, the race entry, 1983, and all the badges, the correct badges for the race classing. Windscreen wiper, yep, important. That we're fixed on with 2 M2 screws, which will also be included. And an oil filler cap, which will come over here, which is modelled up. It needs to be printed, so an oil filler cap for that. And then we've got the light buckets, which I'll show you. I still have to build the kit, of course. So that's the Lexan forming for the buckets. So what they've done, they've produced the interior light bucket, with a little sort of indentation in the center for drilling, for putting LEDs in, and they produced an outer shell which you put the decal of the lens on it. So what I've done, I've produced some buckets which can be inserted with some double-sided tape, and they can be fitted with, I've found some 3mm LEDs. These are warm white, important, don't use white, use warm white, or dip that in yellow translucent paint, because no car in that period had LED headlights. So typically you've got your running light, and which it fits in, and then you've got your high beam and then indicators, which will be in there. And the indicator could be dipped in orange paint, because there's a little indentation on there which you put the decal over and it will flash through there. Now what I did, I originally print all the prototype parts in white filament. So that's the light bucket itself, as you can see. The problem with white is the light from the LED will shine through the white, so you'll get light bleed into other sections. So if you want a specific area of light in one light pod unit, the chance is high that the light will bleed through there. Now I've put a little funnel inside, so the light should focus forwards, but it's gonna bleed through. So that's why I've printed them in a darker sort of silver material, which then you can paint the front face in silver. In fact, I would probably blow the whole thing over in white again, so that you don't get any shadow through the bodywork of a dark product underneath, and then silver inside the light reflector itself, and then stick that in, so the material is denser. Rears are the same, they're asymmetric. You've got, and what I found out is actually the 2 rear lights, so you've got a brake light and a rear light, they're not actually in the same position, so I had to move that up. And then you've got the third one, which would be the fog light, I guess. I think so. Mist light. That's all those parts. So you're going to have to source your own LEDs. I'm not sure I'm going to put those in the kit. I think everybody has the choice of putting leads in or not. So basically that's so far the overview. Yeah, there's another interesting part that's coming, which is in development, and that's going to be yeah, next level stuff. Also, all this stuff can be retrofit. So you can continue with the building of the kit. If you're going to stick with the racing decal, go with it. If you're going to source other sponsored decals, go with it. I'm definitely going to be supplying some extra missing sponsors that I want to do. I'm in discussions with one of the biggest decal repro guys for making some specific stuff for what I need. And like the C11 stuff, all masks that are needed to cut holes will be included, some instructions. Then once all this is done, I should get the kit built. I'm going to move on and get the body painted and then get the rear diffuser done, which I've got sketches for that and how I want that to really set it off. So this is the idea of these wheels. Is people have asked, can you use them? They're a carbon reinforced filament, and the best way to handle that I've found is just to give it a light dusting of PS55, a matte lacquer, and it just flattens out and evens out the carbon. Or you paint them the colour you want. That's absolutely no problem at all. But I'd rather do that than go with white wheels, because they are a metallic product. So when you put a metallic on a dark surface, it's much nicer. It's a deeper metallic colour. So that's what's coming. The wheel sets will be launched and available soon, so I can get those rolling and produced and delivered. Or if people are going to wait for the body sets, then we'll do a system where they can reserve a set of wheels and a body set to go with it. I'm going as fast as I can with all this stuff. I'm doing it in between all my work, jobs, family and things like that. So I'm trying to make the ultimate car that I would like. Another thing, antenna. So the race antenna. A lot of cars have them removed, slightly different styles. I was looking maybe do one as well. Let me know in the comments if there's something specific you want. There's one more thing. The drawer on this moulding here from Tamiya is, I say, not very deep. It's very shallow. Now this section here on the cockpit, next to the cockpit, on the real car, that goes very deep. That comes right down to under the door level. And that is some major cooling going on there. Now my thought was to have this to be cut out and make a block to go behind it. But on reflection, the whole duct is too shallow anyway. So it wouldn't look quite right. Actually, the decal they produce isn't bad for that. Plus, cutting that out, you're introducing some pretty serious weaknesses around that area. To reinforce that with a print part, that's quite a hefty print part, and it doesn't enhance the body, if you get what I mean. It's not going to enhance it at all. Whereas things like the fuel fillers, wipers, the switches on the levers on the side. There's another shut-off that comes over here, and a handle for releasing the body. Bits and pieces like that really do lift it up. So I've got to make a decision, where do we stop? This is still a polycarbonate vacuum forming. This isn't a scale model kit from Tamiya. They've made massive concessions in the moulding. I don't know if it's up there. The repro one, it's much deeper, but then it falls short on other areas, I feel. So this is more accurate, but they were a little bit lazy in their tooling, it seems. So it'll be fully light bucket equipped. By the way, that side light here, that one here. So that'll be in the kit, of course, but that's an optional part, and that comes on the side here. Oops. Above the number 1, 2 or 3. So that you drill that with 1.5mm drill and slide that in, and on the back a little bit of shoe glue or hot melt glue on there just to hold that on. It's so small it will just hold on, and the wire will go through the same hole. So there's no way you can see it. The spline that it fits onto the body is recessed. That's the advantage of resin printing. I can do all that to accept the two cables, so they go through the single hole. Anything else you can think of that you think that could be quite good, that's reasonable, just stick it in the comments below. The body details kits will be updated ASAP as soon as I've got all the bits made and I've got my body painted up and the chassis built. I just haven't had time to do that. And then wheel sets out first, body sets, and then some other nice stuff is going to come, all for this car. This batch I've sold out. I had stock, I've sold out. I was too late to get the second batch of this delivery. They went like crazy, so I'm down for the next batch, which is in 2025. I've been promised by the importer. So it's a limited run, but yeah, they've invested in all the tooling for the new body. They're not going to limit it to like, that's it, done. There'll be a second issue, like they did with the C11. And in fact, they're still available, the C11s. There's one in my local shop. I don't have any in stock, but the demand for the kits, for the detailing kits, is still very high for that. So this one will get refined, then I'll crack on with the C11 stuff and the wheel sets, as I've said. Okay, now I'm waffling. Good luck with your builds, everybody. I'll keep you updated. Keep an eye on the socials. I put it on the Facebook Needabiggershed page and on the Needabiggershed Instagram. Literally, as I'm doing stuff, I post snapshots, as I was doing with the illuminated light buckets, so they're with the lights in them on Instagram. And I'll get rolling out as soon as I can, really. So stay patient. I'm going to try and figure out a way if people can, I don't like it, but maybe pre-order stuff, you know, so that I can assess the demand, because now people say, I want. But unless people have ordered stuff, I don't know exact numbers that I need to account for here. So it'll be produced in batches, exactly like the C11. All the parts that I print myself, manufacture myself, will be done in batches, boxed up. It's nice fancy boxing. I have a box over there and some graphics for it. And it's not just because nice fancy boxing, it's to protect this stuff, because as you see, some of the stuff is ridiculously small. I need it to get to you guys and on your models without getting lost or damaged. So thanks for the follows, thanks for watching. Thanks for the interest in what I'm doing. It's crazy stuff for this car, which is absolutely magnificent, and I'll keep you updated soon. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.